Dealing with obsessive thoughts is one of the things that many people face. Again, I don't want to instill that this is your story, but in case it is your story, the thing with obsessive thoughts is they are addictive, and it's the same concept as eating a bag of chips and not being able to stop, or any sort of addiction where you feel you do not have control. Now, I want to mention that you can always set that aside and say, I am free, I have full control over my behavior. So that can be something that will counteract the addictive behavior. But in case you are experiencing what seem to be obsessive thoughts, especially when there's another person involved, you're overly thinking about them, you can deal with this in two ways. The first thing you can do is just become mindful. Ask the spirit within you or your higher mind to distract you anytime you find yourself going into your obsessive thinking mode. So perhaps you would receive a phone call that would stop your thinking, or you'll see something on TV that will distract you. Your higher self will send you the opportunities to break the thought as it's happening. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing that you can do is create a rule that works for you. I spoke about how obsessive thinking is a push energy. But you know what you can do? You can change that rule. Because the reason I said it's a push energy is because sometimes you're in a lackful place, and that activates the obsessive thinking even more. But what you can say is, the more I think about the situation, the more I'm pulling it in towards me. So you're kind of creating a new rule here. That's why when you're going on that place, you're not going to feel bad, because sometimes once you're there and you're finding it hard to stop the thinking, you go into a lackful place and you feel bad because you know that this is pushing it away. But actually, if you set the rule that says, the more I think about this, the more I'm magnetizing them to me, you're kind of creating relief for yourself, and it actually can happen that you manifest them in the more you think about them. So really, it's just about you creating your own rules and deciding what it is that works for you. But the key is to try to relieve the sense of lack. And sometimes when the thoughts are just going on and on, it may be difficult to stop them. Similar to when you're in the middle of a bag of chips and you just can't stop. You're kind of there. And so then you will be able to at least feel good about the fact that you're thinking about them by setting the rule that the more I think about them, the more they're thinking about me, or the more I am magnetizing them to me. So you feel better about that in that situation.